Hey, it's Bob here out at Serenity Hill once again. You know, I hate doing this because everybody seems to do them, and I kind of hate it when they do, but I'm going to do one anyway. Got big news. That's right, big news. I know everybody looks at that as clickbait, but hey, I really do have big news. First is, we can see behind me here, if I can get it to cooperate, is a blue flag. And that blue flag is for our water meter. That's right. We're going ahead and getting utilities put out here. We got water going to be coming in. I'm putting it right there where that blue flag is. You look around behind me, and there's going to be our electrical vault. I'm going to put a transformer in that and then drive. The reason why I'm putting the water so far away from the drive is because that gives me a nice straight shot to where our house is going to be without having to go through and interfere with the electrical lines. The electric is going to be routed in a different way, so I won't have to worry about the contractor for the electrical cutting through my water lines, and they'll be totally separated. Reason why we're putting water in is the water utility, or the electric utility rather, says that we have to have a permanent water supply before they'll come put our electric in. And I guess that makes sense because I guess if they want to know we're actually going to be out here, because it is for construction purpose, and that way if there is an issue, I guess we have some water to put a fire out. God forbid that we have one. And lots of other stuff going on. I know some days it doesn't look like it. I had a New Year's Eve and New Year's Day off, so I was able to get out here and get some work done. One of the things that we're doing, believe it or not, the camera's staying still. It's me that's moving. One of the things that we're working on, here's my poor old truck, our car. Might as well be a truck, as much as material as it's hauled. At any rate, right here, you see some materials. This is a location where we are putting our laundry shed, because the goal is to get all these utilities put in, have everything ready to go, so that beginning of March, or well, by the end of March, we can be out here glamping in a travel trailer instead of the tent. Tent's fine for a weekend, not so good to live in permanently. And the reason why we're putting in a laundry shed is that way we can put our washer and dryer, our chest freezer, our big refrigerator in that laundry shed. And then we won't have to be running to the laundromat. This little Harbor Freight garage back here, it's going to be moving. That's going to be a pain in the neck. It's going to be moving back into the area, back in here where we have the camping area set up right now. I've already taken down some fence there. And then we're going to have the fun of moving this jewel back over in these trees here. That way we can still use it for storage. But where this Connex is sitting, or where this little Harbor Freight garage is sitting rather, that's going to be where we're going to put a Connex. Instead of paying, I don't know, I haven't even checked how much it costs for a storage unit. I know 7 years ago, when we had one, it was $45 a month, and that was a pretty good rate back then. So I figure $45 a month, that adds up pretty good, because we'll probably be about 1.5 to 2 years realistically before we have the house ready to move in out here. So it's going to be a while in the trailer. but that's going to get us out of our rent, and it's going to get us out here where instead of having to make a special trip out on days off, we'll actually be living out here. I can get up, and instead of spending time playing Civilization on my computer, guilty, I am a computer nerd, among other things. At any rate, instead of playing Civilization on the computer, we'll be able to get out here and do some work. I figure I'll have a good 3 to 4 hours from the time I get up until I have to leave to work, the full-time job. And that will let us get a lot more work done. So we're pretty excited about that. Something we've talked about for a while, but one of those things that we just never really pulled the trigger on. And we decided it's time to do it. So besides getting a laundry shed going, we've got to get the water put in, and then the meter, they'll put the meter in, and I'll have to get a trencher and run the water over to the foundation. And once I get that done, the electric utility will come in and give us some temporary power. Then I'll have to run a line over to and put up an RV box on a pole here. And we'll be getting a container brought in where this nice Harbor Freight garage is. Get a shipping container put in. That way, when we're finished using it to store household goods and furniture and out-of-season clothing, things like that, you can always use a good container to store things. If nothing else, it'll be a good parking garage for a trailer. And the laundry shed is going to be 12 by 8. We're doing a shed roof on it so that it will match up with the roof line on the house that we're building. And Deb was concerned about all the money and time spent on that. Well, that's not exactly going to be wasted time, because that shed is, all of you out there know, you can never have too many sheds and buildings. And I figure if we don't leave it where it is, it's going to be built on these 4x4 ground contact pressure treated beams. If nothing else, I can move it over by the where the garden's going to be, and we could either use it for a chicken coop or use it for storage, use it for a garden shed. But a 12 by 8 shed that's well built will always have a purpose out on the homestead and always be of use. And then the container going forward. So a lot to do between now and the end of March. But if you don't set a goal and make a checklist and start working it, why, you'll never get where you want to be. So lots of work to do. Deb's not out here with me today. She's actually at our granddaughter's house babysitting great grandkids. So at least she's doing something that's got a good higher purpose. Unfortunately, granddaughter has to work on the holiday. Big bucks, I guess. At any rate, that's where we are right now. More work to do. Speaking of work, about time to put this thing down and get to work so I can get that foundation put together. I'll be out here again on Saturday, and that's going to be a big adventure, because I'm going to fell that widowmaker tree that's standing up there. Finally get that thing out of our way, so that we can work in that area safely. That's where we're going to have a garden eventually, and we've got a lot of materials that we need to move over into that location to build hugelkultur beds and get them out of our way where we're working now. So, at any rate, time to go to work. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next video.